Okay, today is the day. This is the second part of a two-part video on the Oklahoma Joe's smoker, and we're going to talk about the mods that we did, and then we'll be ready to, in the next video, we're going to do the seasoning. So I will put a link below this video that you can click to get the same mods that I got for this. I got them from barbecuesmokermods.com, and like I said, I'll put a link down below. This is the Highland version, so I'll put a link to that specific kit, but you can search for the other modifications for the rest of the stuff. So we're gonna get into it and show you what we did right after this. Welcome to Backdraft Barbecue. With your host, Big D. Okay, so this is the Oklahoma Joe's, and this is the Highland smoker, which is a little bit smaller than the other ones, and I went with this for a reason. So let's just kind of cut to the chase and start showing you what we did here. I have it all set up. So here's what we did. When we started putting this together, as we were putting it together, we were doing things along the way. So part of the kit that I got for this mod includes this RTV 650 by Lavalock. The stuff is specifically formulated for barbecue pits and smokers because it withstands lots of heat. So as you can see, what I did down there when I was putting the box together is I put a nice good bead of that all the way around the whole firebox. Look, these are nice little smokers, but they tend to leak, and a lot of people don't understand that smoking meat is a little more than just putting meat in the chamber, starting a fire, and throwing smoke and heat at it. You've got to be able to control your fire. You've got to be able to maintain heat. It's critical that you're maintaining your heat and you're keeping your smoke inside. Now, I know some people will be saying, well, this is all overboard and all, but let me tell you something. This isn't my first rodeo. I grew up around, my father was a butcher, and we smoked meat and barbecued meat quite frequently. So this isn't my first rodeo when it comes to meats and smokers. Now, a lot of you know that I have a custom Santa Maria grill built, and I was going to have them build me a smoker, and then I thought, you know, for a couple $100 I can get the smoker, and then I can get some modifications, throw a little bit of more money at it for, you know, right around $400 or $500 or somewhere around there. I can have me a pretty nice little smoker, and these are pretty nice little smokers. I'm going to give them that. All right, so we started with the RTV all the way around the firebox. The next thing I did was, in the kit also comes the Firebox Gasket. And this gasket goes all the way around the firebox to seal up the firebox. This will help control and maintain the heat and the smoke inside the firebox instead of having it seeping out the sides. If you're going to go this route, you need to have this RTV. Okay? Because that's how you see it. That's how you you put a bead of RTV down, and then you put this down to stick it. Does not have an adhesive backing on the back side of this. Okay? So, inside there, you'll see that there is a firebox. Well, inside the firebox is a fire grate. Now, why did I do this? Well, because these things are thin-walled. And what happens over time is they will begin to deteriorate and they'll rust out on the bottom. So in order to prevent that from happening, you want to get that fire up off of the bottom. Let me show you. Show you what I did here. Instead of having the fire down there on the bottom, I took the grate that comes with the grill. You'll see it there. And I turned it a half a turn. That raised it up higher, which now allows me to have airflow underneath my fire as well. That's a key for maintaining good heat management. You want to have good airflow. All right. So we have that inside of there. Now, the next thing we did was in the kit also comes the gasket for the smoke chamber. This has adhesive backing on it. So we put this down to seal all the way around the door. Now, what did not come in the mod that I bought, this by the way, this doesn't come in the mod either. You have to buy that separate. This heat baffle down here, or some call it a tuning plate, I bought that because if you look in the firebox, there's a hole right here. That hole is where the heat and the smoke leave the firebox and go into the smoke chamber. The problem with that is it's all the way open over here. So what does heat do? Heat rises. So your fire, your smoke and your heat enter the firebox here. They come straight up to about here, and then they shoot right over here and go right straight out the flue. We'll talk more about the flue here in a moment. This is a design flaw. Most of your smokers that you buy in the store are like that. Ideally, this should be lowered down to the grate level. Because what you want to do is you want to draw your heat and your smoke across your grates where your meat is, and then out, not over top. So you say, well, it's still in the smoke chamber. Yeah, maybe it is, but you're not getting a good heat. You're not getting even heat management. Sure, there's going to be heat and smoke all through here, but it's going to be hotter at the top and colder at the bottom. You want to keep that heat and that smoke down on the bottom of the grates where your food is. You don't want it over top of your food. So what this baffle does is, if you look, it goes up against the wall over there, and it prevents the heat and the smoke from pouring up here. It keeps it down underneath. Now, if you'll see there's smaller holes on this side than there are on this side. This allows for even heat flow and management of your smoke and your heat. That's what that's for. So there's also, you can see I've got it bolted there. It comes with two little V's that you connect to it on both sides, which seals it. This is, it looks like there's a gap here, but actually it's sealed. I've got it sealed down under there. So what happens is now the heat is going to come out of here, and it's going to come in here, and it's going to stay low. And it's going to evenly distribute itself across the grates where the meat is. Folks, that's a critical thing that a lot of people don't understand. Guys, this is smoker basics. Again, it's not all about just throwing a bunch of smoke and heat into a chamber and cooking meat. That's not what it's about. You want to maximize your cooking and you want to maximize your flavor. All right, so what do we get? That's all I have there from barbecue from the website. It's linked down below underneath this video. I'll put links to all of this stuff. Okay, so what is this all about? Remember, I said that this is a design flaw, and this should be down here at grate level, because this flue pipe acts as a suction, like it creates a vacuum. It sucks the heat and the smoke out. This is the exhaust, and what it does is it creates like a vacuum. So it brings your heat, it sucks your heat. This is how it comes out. So what I've done is I've taken a bead of that silicone, and what I've done is I've got, this is just a regular old, it's a dryer vent, okay? You want to get a dryer vent. They have the mods as well. I went on ahead and just put a dryer vent in there. It was real easy to do, and it brought it down to grate level. So what that's going to do is the heat and the smoke have somewhere to go. They can't come out of here because this is sealed, so they have to go somewhere. It's going to go out the flue, but it's going to be drawn at grate level where the meat and the food is, not at the top of the smoker. And that's just to help prevent, help seal it up. That's basically all that is. Now, to control your heat, you use these little vents right here. There's one here, and there's one down here. Okay? Personally, I like to keep this one open, and I like to control the heat over here on the firebox side. So that's what that's about. So, plain and simple. Now, what is this? Those of you that understand cooking, you know what that is. It's a meat probe. Let's look at these thermometers. This is another design flaw. Because remember when I said heat rises? You're not getting a good consistent reading up here. This is going to be hotter. Well, hopefully we're minimizing that now. But still, this is going to be hotter than it is down here. These should be down here at grate level. Both of them. So why are there two thermometers there? Well, this one is so you can check your heat going into the smoker from the firebox. And this one is so you can check your heat going out of the smoker from the smoke chamber. Then you can see what your heat loss is across. Then you know whether you're getting a good even heating across the grill. So why did I do this? Well, because remember, this is up high. You want these probes down where your food is sitting, not at the top of the grill. That's a design flaw. So I will be able to check my my heat temperature on this side, and I'll be able to check my heat temperature on this side, and then I will be able to get a gauge for what the heat is doing inside of the box. These guys are movable. They just clip right there, and then they connect. This is the Inkbird, and it's the Wi-Fi wireless. I have the app on my phone, and it comes with 4 probes. So I'm using 2 of the probes for temps, for smoker temps, and then I have 2 probes for putting in meats. If I want to do a couple of pork butts or whatever I want to do in there, I got a couple of extra probes. Now, the good thing about this is I now have 4 thermometers in this grill. so I can really gauge my temperature, my fire manage, my heat inside of that smoke chamber really, really well. And I'll be able to know what all the way around the board what my temperatures are. Some people say that's overkill, but remember, this is my passion. Some people do stuff, some people do stuff the right way. I'm kind of a stickler when it comes to this kind of stuff. So anyway, that's my Oklahoma Joe Highland setup right there. Should turn out to be a really nice grill, or smoker I should say, because I have all kinds of grills. My friends I think I'm kind of lunatic. But there she is. Now of course I won't be lighting her up in here. This is inside my patio. This will be going out. I have a barbecue center out there in the back. And that's where that'll go. But anyway, okay, I think this video is getting long enough. I kind of went through it a little bit. And I'm kind of excited. It's kind of windy today, and it's late in the day, so I think tomorrow at some point I will probably do a seasoning on this. And I won't do a cook on the seasoning, because I want to make sure that I've got it sealed up good. I want to make sure that I've got everything the way I want it before I go throwing meat on there. So anyway, there's the Oklahoma Joe Highland smoker with the modifications that I've done to it, and we'll see how it turns out. Till next time, thanks for watching the video.